I couldn't do anything without God. It's all God. A lot of times I surprise myself being so young and going through so much. So I had my stroke in 2019. So really surrendering and allowing him to work. I mean, just releasing all of me and giving myself to all of him. And that took prayer. I'm a soldier. In the army. Lord, I don't think I got no more soldier in me. Stop snatching the pen while God is writing. Trust the story that he's writing for you.
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way.
Yeah.
I can't get my lip like that yet. I've been trying to do it. I can't do it.
Well, you talking about how like Beyonce and them do it?
I can't. Yeah. I've been trying.
Oh, like this.
I think it's a
like
stroke.
that.
I think it's a stroke. I ain't got that much strength in my face no more.
Well, just make something new
I can't
up.
do it.
Just lift
you
your
can do it,
lip.
can't you?
Can you do it? Cause we recording.
See, they can do it.
We on here.
See,
we
I
on.
feel like my whole mouth is moving. I'm gonna do like this, like
Y'all finna see who this is in a minute.
Listen.
Yo, it's your girl Jessica S. Smith, and we are hither.
We here.
We hither.
We in the his
On
house.
in the his house.
Hey.
The safe space where influencers decompress, have fun, and just ask.
Just ask.
You know what? I'm about sick of y'all, but I love y'all because y'all are wearing this song out.
Man.
Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree. Hey. Ballin'. Was that a balling move? What is? Ooh,
like that?
Scoop it.
I've been-
Do it again.
I've been practicing.
Ooh. You been practicing in the mirror.
Yeah.
In the mirror, I can tell.
I've been working on that for y'all. I've been, trying to, get my moves together.
I literally, you get that song. No one can say your name regular anymore.
I know. They really can't.
They
Wanna know
really
why?
can't. Why?
Because Jessica.
The Jessica S. Smith.
The Jessica S. Smith.
Act like you know. Act like you
I was
know.
on the shout out to the Fombies.
Shout out to the Fundies. We
I
love y'all.
I was watching they live. Oh, sorry. I know it.
I know.
I
You see,
know.
I did not say
You
anything
didn't.
to you.
See, I called it.
You called it.
I called
I'm glad
it.
you
I called
called it.
I was on that live, just commenting. They was like, Desiree. Hey, Desiree. Hey. I said, I know they not.
They are.
They did.
You are a whole theme song.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's only you. Only you, boo.
The
The Lord loved you that much, he will give you a whole theme song.
Only for Jessica and the Lord.
Y'all, we are super excited about today and the conversation we about to have because, baby,
Hey. Y'all better buckle your seat belts. Hey.
Okay? But
Buckle it
before
up.
we get into that, y'all already know what time it is. What time is it, Desiree?
It's community shout out time.
It's community highlight time.
Let's
And
go.
baby, this week, this is a little biased. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the people this is a little biased. It's a little biased. Why? Because this young lady has been holding us down.
Like,
Okay.
literally.
Listen, sometimes as you grow, the Lord will send you help.
Yeah.
Okay. The Lord is gonna send you help, and baby, she has been helped. She was already supporting, but then the Lord sent her our way, and she has been serving in the background. And so we just love us some Felicia Roper. Felicia. And not the one from Friday.
No, not that one.
She is not close to the one from Friday. Baby bad.
She
Okay.
fine. You hear me?
Baby,
Fine.
just go check her Instagram
Fine.
out. It's
Fine.
Felicia_Row. Okay.
Yeah, go check her out,
Felicia, we love you so much, sis. We honor you. We honor the oil on your life. We honor the anointing on your life. You are more. I just hear the Lord say more for you. More for you in 2025. Not only just more for you, but more for your children, more for your legacy. More is coming to you, and not only to you, but through you. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I see the Lord just using you in a mighty way, even ways that you could not predict for yourself. And God is saying he is taking the limits off. No longer will you have to break them yourself. God is partnering with you in this season. So girl, keep on moving, keep going up. We love you. Y'all give it up for Felicia.
Hey.
You go and find your button. Did you find it? Did you touch it?
They done changed some stuff up over here. I'm gonna have to.
I'm
get myself
glad
together.
because you and this button is working it. It's
I'ma
working.
find
Y'all, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I know
I'm
why
just gonna buckle up your seatbelts.
Yeah.
Don't say I ain't warn you. Okay then.
Yeah, she came in hot and ready.
And fun,
okay?
you hear me?
Baby, bust down.
Hey.
I can't wait for this camera to bust down, okay? The woman that we have here is the total package, okay? She is a survivor, a fighter. She fine. She fine.
Fine.
She fine.
Fine.
Okay.
Hey.
She is representing you guys for the 40 and overs. Okay. And baby, she don't look it. She smooth, they say smooth like butter. Okay.
I need to see some
She is,
identification.
when I tell you she's multifaceted, fashion, comedy, finance, what else? Health, women's health, like
Yeah.
everything. I think I can ask her a question about anything and she'll have an answer for it. Why? Because the Lord has taken her through some things, brought her out of some things, and she is more than conquerors because she chose God. She's a daughter of the King, a child of the Most High, none other than Dr. ShantaQuilette. I'm sorry. Ooh, I think I got too excited. Let me break up. That is so embarrassing.
We here now.
It ain't the first time it's happened.
ShantaQuilette. What did I say? Run it back. Oh, we gonna have to edit that out.
ShantaQuilette.
ShantaQuilette.
It's all right, baby.
I just got hot in the face.
You got hot and ready, like
Hot
a little
and
Caesar,
ready.
like a little Caesar pizza.
Literally and ready. You hear me?
How you do that? I know this lady name. Let me try it again.
We rebuke you,
Dr.
devil.
ShantaQuilette Develle.
We rebuke the enemy.
I literally just said your name before this, and I just like, how did I just mess that up? Anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Doctor,
I'm glad to
doctor.
be here. I'm glad to be
You
here.
sharp.
Thank you for that
You-
introduction.
You sharp. I know this is gonna be good because the enemy just tried to mess me up.
And you trying to get all up in your head.
Be
So,
offense.
Jessica, get out your head, okay?
Cause I'm sure there.
Okay, get out of there.
Let's talk about
Get
that.
out of there.
Let's talk because I'm about to go straight into that. But before we go straight into that, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you
I'm
so
doing
much
well.
for being
The flight
here.
was amazing here. Y'all got a small little airport,
Yeah.
just cozy
Quiet.
and nice.
Quiet.
Small.
Stay in
Say
your
small.
business.
Oh my God.
Your
Small.
business stay gone. Oh my goodness, you look good.
Thank you.
Now this jacket. Now you got to give us
Hey.
Never would have made it. Never could have made it. The Lord knew better to make me a singer.
I think you probably can if you go get you some lists
I
because you
had
on
lost
keep.
it all.
You won't keep.
She
Am
is.
I?
You
For
won't.
real?
You won't
But
keep.
now I see you were there for me.
Let's talk about what just happened. I feel like this is about to be an auntie moment. This is about to be an auntie moment. I really feel it.
Go there.
You have mastered overcoming. The moment I just had, I am so bad at like just beating myself down. And maybe that was the Lord he just want to hit that on the head. One thing I admire about you and what I've studied about you is that anything that has come your way, I mean, you've been through it.
Ooh, child.
You've been down through there. How have you mastered the art of overcoming?
I couldn't do anything without God. It's all God. A lot of times I surprise myself because being so young and going through so much so fast.
Yeah.
Stroke, heart attack, stroke. Retirement, forceful retirement. Being a mom, trying to still be a wife, trying to be a mother, trying to be a sister, all while trying to still take care of me.
Yeah.
It was difficult. It was difficult, but I couldn't have got through it without God. He had his hands all on me. And like they say, there's people who've been gone a long time ago that have covered me with prayers that are still covering me to this day.
Did you grow up in the church?
I
you?
did. My grandmother is an evangelist.
Okay.
Grew up Church of God in Christ. And I think it was when my brother passed away when I was 14 years old. And he was 1 year old. And just seeing...
He was one?
He was one.
Oh, wow. Was he ill?
Medical malpractice. And seeing my mom how she handled that and how she prayed day and night. And I never seen her lose a beat, miss a step. Just gave it all to God all the time. Even my grandmother just covered us all the time in just prayer and worship and going to church. It was just instilled very, 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 very early off in my young age.
Yeah, I grew up in church a lot. Too. I'm a PK.
Oh.
I'm a PK. So growing up in church, it really teaches you something. But I did not learn how to have a relationship with God until like I started going to church because I wanted to, not because I was forced to.
Right.
At what point in your life did you realize that you needed your own relationship with God? Like, and what did that development with your relationship with Him look like?
I fought it a long time. Because I know my grandmother, I remember being maybe about 5 or 6. And my grandmother saying that I spoke in tongues and that I had this gift. And God had
At 5 or 6 you were speaking in tongues?
5, 6 years old. And I remember my grandmother said that I had a special calling on my life. And the one thing I remember her saying that it would be a gift and it would be a curse. But I never followed that gift. I always followed the curse. So I was always running from God. You know, every opportunity that He was giving me to come to Him and to surrender, I wouldn't do it. I kept snatching the pen while He was writing. Like, this is. I know you got this, but this is how I want to do it. And it wasn't literally. I've been stabbed. I've been held at gunpoint. It wasn't until I had my stroke, that I finally surrendered to God. Like, when you have to face your own mortality in a way where you're meeting death face to face, and I had to think, is this how I want to be? Is this what I want my legacy to be? And it wasn't. God truly pulled me up by my lapels and showed me the light. I truly saw the light. And it took some time. It took some time. It wasn't overnight, but just being able to truly call on Him and to see His work in action.
Yeah.
And to see what He could do. Because at first I thought, I thought I was being punished. I really thought I was being punished. What I heard God say, if you don't come to me in this moment, then I can no longer use you.
Come to you as in be obedient to what?
Be obedient to Him.
So what were you running away from?
I was just scared. Just being scared of That's the devil again. Look at that ain't nothing but the devil.
She said she had to bring the mic closer.
Come on. Yeah, it was just I was just scared. I can't truly tell you what I was truly going through, but it was like the work that God was putting in front of me, I felt like was too big for me.
Okay. Okay, we got to dig deep in that, because that is not by happenstance that you say that, because this is a season that Desiree and I have talked about. We're currently in, like, wait, hold up, what? So how are you navigating through that? How did you navigate from the point of being fearful, and how are you navigating through that daily to continuously show up?
I come out of it. I've come out, like, this was, so this was 5 years. So this was 5 years ago. So I had my stroke in 2019. So really surrendering and allowing Him to work. I mean, just releasing all of me and giving myself to all of Him. And that took prayer. I mean, that took constant prayer. That took meditation. That it took therapy.
Yeah.
It took so much to get to this point, and just truly loving Him, and knowing what He has for me. And the moment that I did that, things started opening up, because I had this career that I absolutely loved, that I thought I was going to retire from, my good government job.
Yeah.
I knew what my pension was going to look like, and so I thought that I had been doing everything right. You know, I had opened up a nonprofit. I was, you know, really giving myself and being vulnerable to women. But I think that the thing that God was working with me on was empathy. It's really truly understanding what my purpose was, who I was talking to. And so when he whipped me down and had my knees buckled and put me in a vulnerable position and put me in a position where the only thing I could do was call on him.
Yeah.
That's when the breakthrough truly happened.
You said something in the midst of that. You said that you started to be open with women. At what point weren't you open, and what did that look like?
I wasn't. I can't truly say that I was 100% being my authentic self, because there was so much that I guess there was shame, maybe a little bit of shame of who I was or who I thought I should be. You know, I grew up in a very modest home, two parent household. But you know, I was a single mother. I was you know, a teen mother. You know, all these things that I didn't have at some point didn't envision my life as being. And so my family made me, not my mom and my dad, but you know, my aunts and uncles and stuff.
Yeah.
They made me shame of that. I was kind of ashamed of who I was, because I didn't fit this picture. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to college right out of high school. You know, so I was a little ashamed of that, you know. But I didn't realize what God was doing. You know, every step from being there's not, I can say I'm probably one person who's probably been through everything.
Yeah, I think I will agree with that statement, because I was like, you said you were stabbed, you said you had the stroke twice. Okay, we're gonna get into that, because I'm just like, how do you, like, you, in my mind, like, if I'm looking at you now, Desiree, you correct me if I'm wrong, you look healthy, like healthy. I know it's taking some work or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't look at you and tell that you had a stroke, and you say you had two.
Yes.
And normally, like, people that I've seen with like multiple strokes, the face are lopsided or anything. They're I'm on spoken tongue.
Flip me inside out. Inside out. Like,
there is no evidence.
Well, I mean,
from what I'm looking at.
There's a lot of evidence.
She said, flip me inside out.
Flip me inside out. Let me show you them doctor records. You want to visit me on you want to go with me on a doctor's visit? Evidence. Y'all remember Frederick Price? Evidence.
She said, hold on, let me clock you real quick. You can't see it, but I can.
Flip me inside out.
But I think that's the coolest thing about the Lord, like how he'll cover and protect you. And
protect you.
You have to tell that part of the story. You have to
tell people, yeah.
Like, so walk us down, like, I know you said the aftermath of the stroke, but I know I've heard you say that you on a treadmill. You were actually working out. You trying to be healthy.
I was healthy. So I worked out, was very adamant about going to the gym, taking care of myself. And then one day I was running on the treadmill, and I started feeling fluttering in my chest. This was around 2011, 2012. And so immediately I knew something was wrong. I shouldn't feel fluttering in my chest.
Yeah.
I kept running on the treadmill. The fluttering continued. So I stopped, went home, called my doctor the following day, got an appointment, and got sent to a cardiologist. Cardiologist, what I will say, did not properly diagnose me. So I went about 8 years going back and forth with doctors regarding chest pain, shortness of breath, and was only told that it was stress. It was due to stress. And because I worked for the IRS, people automatically think you're stressed. We have no reason to be stressed. We pay our taxes. So that's you have to pay your taxes when you work for the IRS. So that's not a worry.
That's non-negotiable.
Not non-negotiable. It is a requirement. Okay. And so I didn't consider myself stressed, but when you have a health professional, somebody with expertise telling you that you're stressed, that's what you go with. And so I continue to live my life, coexisting with all these symptoms I was having, all these things I was going through, not only creating more stress because I know in my mind there's something else going on.
Yeah.
But I'm unable to articulate that to a doctor where he can understand it or believe me, because I tried to Google my symptoms. I remember going to my doctor and saying, hey, maybe it's this. And he looked at me, he said, you're an accountant, right?
Wow.
Now, what did I'm not
I
trying to be
say
biased.
that, yeah, and the math ain't math.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be biased, but can you? Was the doctor of our?
No.
Okay.
No.
I've heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that there is a disconnect.
There is a huge disparity in health when it comes to not only Black individuals, but specifically Black women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt unheard. There wasn't a time where I could say that I was angry, but I was sad. I was sad because I knew that there was more going on. And it took my stroke for them to actually take me serious. And that's actually after this doctor is gone, because I had to fire my whole staff. That's what I consider my doctors, my staff.
Yeah.
I had to fire my whole staff and end up getting a Black neurologist that took me serious. Well, she had no choice. I had a stroke.
Yeah.
But was able to give me the right cardiologist, give me the right testing, which was months and months of testing to finally come down with a diagnosis of what was actually going on with me, which was a heart condition that I had, that I have now. And it's just lucky. I'm lucky. It's God's grace that I'm still here.
So what's the language? Did they ever give you language to use so that you could know accurately?
I have a condition called ASCVD.
Okay.
And so it's basically where your blood, your arteries close up and they cause blood clots. So as a result of high cholesterol.
So is this after this is the first stroke?
No, this is the second. This is the second. So the first one was a mini. So I had a TIA, so it was a mini stroke, but was also misdiagnosed at that time.
I was just about to ask that. Like, so, okay, because obviously there was a disconnect. So you still had your first doctor.
Had a mini stroke.
Okay.
And then about 10 months later, had a mild heart attack. Was in the hospital about 6 days. Had a stress test. They found that at that time there wasn't anything major going on with my heart. That I had exercise induced heart arrhythmia. That was the only thing that they had diagnosed me with, but still related it to stress. I was told to quit my job, quit my good government job, and find something else to do, because I was basically causing my own demise.
Even though you never complained about your job to them.
Never complained, never mentioned my job.
So that's wild. That's wild to me.
Even though I had my stroke on the job, but.
Well, let me tell you what I said, man. They probably thought that was wild.
But I feel like, here's the thing. I was adding stress. So there's so much stress that I was adding to myself, not only having a condition that I didn't know I had, right? Them telling me nothing's wrong, then having to go back to work, saying that I'm having these issues, but on paper the doctors are saying nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
So now my job is hounding me like, well, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
So you can come to work. You don't need to be missing days. You don't need to be taken off. So it's that stress, And then the doctors, I remember when I had my heart attack, the doctor who I had at the time came in and told my family that it was nothing wrong, that I was stressed out. I told her that I needed, and at the time I had started gaining weight.
Yeah.
Because I stopped exercising because of the exercise induced arrhythmia, that I was scared of the fluttering that I was having in my chest. So it was all these things going on that was just on top of the existing condition that I had.
So I see that you're I would call you an advocate. Would you say?
I am an advocate.
So how do you teach women to advocate for themselves? Like what should we be asking doctors when we go? Because I'm 32. She knocking on 40.
Hey,
youngins.
Yeah, she knocking on 40. What should we, like, how can we be proactive to make sure that we don't have these conditions or things are not going on with us? Like, we can think everything's normal. It's like, oh, it's just this or that. Like, what should the conversation look like with our doctors?
First, knowing your body and trusting yourself. You know your body better than anybody else, right? And so when you go to the doctor, you can't be scared to talk to them. Let them know what's going on. I always say to make sure that you are making a list of any symptoms that you have before you go to the doctor, because it's easy to forget once you get to the doctor's office when you start naming symptoms. But make sure you know your body. Make sure you know your numbers. Make sure that was another thing. I had my cholesterol was high. And when my doctor went back to look at all my records, it had always been high. It was just each visit, it was getting higher and higher and higher. Nobody was addressing it. I was just taking the doctor's word for it. There was no reason for me I felt like there was no reason, because I wasn't knowledgeable at the time.
Yeah.
There was no reason for me to go behind the doctor to see what he was saying. I really trusted my doctor. But then when I went back, all my numbers were high. Everything was showing that I was leading to have a heart attack and a stroke. It was all there. So know your numbers. Know your numbers. And if you don't trust what the doctor's saying, get you another doctor.
Yeah.
Get you another doctor. It is okay to I say be the CEO of your health.
Yeah.
The doctors are your worker
good.
bees. And if you don't feel confident in what the doctor's saying, it's okay, get another doctor. It's okay to question. It's okay to sit down with the doctor and say, hey, you pay the doctor. It's okay to sit down and say, hey, let's go over this. And question him. So if it's not this, what could it be? So if you're saying it's not this, what else could it be? What other testing could I do to rule this out or to rule other things out? I think that's really, 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 really important.
Very important, because now I'm like, it's almost like my spiritual father told me I was going through a transition, like with churches, right? And he was like, Jessica, you can date the churches. Like, if you go to different churches, just see, you don't have to commit to them.
Yeah.
Just date them and see if you like them. It's almost like you're saying the same thing. Like, figure out, research these doctors and date. Well, not necessarily
date your doctor, because if you look good, you can date them. You might be single.
hey,
she made a point. Hey. Okay, she made a point. But no, for real, like, we need to not just say, oh, let me just choose them because they said that they're a doctor.
Right.
We need to really go to, like, if something's really going on, and be like really specific with ourselves and care about ourselves enough.
Or ask to be seen. Like, can I see a specialist?
Yeah.
Most definitely. Somebody else. Yeah.
Most definitely. This is so good. Okay. So I'm just trying to connect the dots to how long you been funny. Like, how long, where did this comedic relief come from?
I have been funny all my life.
And I believe
I have been funny all my life.
So did you start to, because I know that you started your TikTok journey with your kids, which is just amazing. I love her TikTok. And I think it's just because it's almost like you're bridging a generational gap. Like, the language that is being used, you're making it make sense to us. You bring us back some old school for us, but then the kids that are coming up, it's
her
like...
name is Tan. Who is Taylor Renee Session? That's my mama.
And I love it. So can we start from the beginning, from there? How did you develop the desire to become this influencer, or did you even know that you was going to become this influencer?
No. So I always knew I had a gift. I always knew I had a gift. I was always funny. As far as I could go back is the second grade, Miss Happy, Happi. She had red nails just like this. Little petite white lady. And I would be in the back of the class trying to tell jokes. My daddy used to listen to Dolomite. And my daddy used to...
Way down in the jungle deep.
Way down deep
See,
where the
you're
green
old.
grass grows.
You're old.
The signified monkey stepped on the elephant's toe.
He did.
I know the name, but I don't know nothing about that. You trigger her. You trigger her age right there.
Listen, she know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So my dad used to repeat those poems.
Yeah.
What he called was poetry.
I was about to say they were poems.
Inappropriate, endearly inappropriate
very
poetry.
much so.
And so I would try to repeat them. And Miss Happy would come up to me and she'd take her little finger and she'd go like this in my head. And she'd say, Miss Carter, take your show on the road, not my classroom.
Wow.
And as I think about that now, she saw something in me. She didn't tell me to stop. She just told me not in her classroom.
Not in her
That's so
classroom.
good.
Not in
That's
her
good.
classroom. Not in her classroom. And so little did she know how much life she was speaking over me at that time. And so I always, no matter when the teacher called my mama's house, that's what she would say. When she called my mama and dad's house, Shanta is very talkative. She's very silly. We love her, but not in the classroom. Not in the classroom. And so it's just been who I've been all my life. And so the comedy that has now turned into a full-time gig for me was not intentional. I use comedy as an outlet. I used it as an outlet because when I was going through this transformation, when I was in my metamorphosis stage, I was really just trying to figure things out and figure out myself and figure out where I was going and who God was calling me to be. And my daughter and my son came to me one day and was like, hey, can you get on TikTok with us and do a video? And it was during the pandemic. They were home. And I was like, sure, what is TikTok? I don't know what TikTok is, but I'm going to get on. I'll get on TikTok. I'll get on TikTok with you. I get on TikTok with you. And so I did a video with them. And then they got my husband involved. And then we just started doing TikTok videos. And then I asked them to download it on my phone. And I was a watcher. I was just watching videos. And I was just like, oh, I just got so inspired. So I started creating my own videos. But first, they were not comedy related. I was doing voiceovers. I was talking about my nonprofit.
Yeah.
I was cooking food, doing all these things. And one of my girlfriends was like, girl, you should get on there and tell them jokes. You know that stuff you be telling us. And I was like, girl, nobody wants to hear that stuff. I was like, I'll get canceled. Didn't know what cancel was. I know what it means now.
She said, I'll get canceled.
Yeah. I don't think that was the word I used, but I know what cancel means now. And one day I was coming from therapy. I was in therapy for 2 years, 4 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day, occupational, physical, cognitive, and speech therapy. And so I am someone who loves to look beautiful, loves to dress up.
Because you bad.
Bad. To the bone.
Yeah. Do them shoulders again. Give them shoulders.
Let me do it one time.
Bow.
Boom. Boom.
Boom. She didn't ask for that, but I do it.
It was an extra sauce.
But when I tell you, my aunt uses this phrase. Y'all from the South.
Yes.
Rolled hard and put up wet.
Now she might know that one. I don't know that one.
You don't know rolled hard, put up wet?
What that
now just
mean?
think about a wet rag rolled up and dry, and when you take it out, you know how it look. All raggedy and dried up. That's rolled hard and put up wet.
Oh.
And so that's how I felt. Rolled hard and put up wet. I didn't recognize myself. And I came home. I was feeling mighty bad.
I was feeling mighty low.
I was feeling mighty bad, Miss Seeley.
That's all you do at home. Quote scripts out of that's how she does, huh? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Just everybody movie. Oh my God. But you was feeling mighty bad.
I was feeling mighty bad. And I turned on my video. I turned on my TikTok video, and I started talking about a time where my mom had came to my school, and also making it relatable to how I was feeling in that moment. And I did a video called Me Without My Wig.
Oh, okay. Now I'm interested in the story.
Yep.
You without your wig.
Me Without My Wig. And so basically it's about my daughter, Sanaa, and how the school calls and says that there is a strange man picking her up from school every day. And they don't know who this strange man is. And so they describe the man. They say his hair is fragile. He's got a light mustache. He's out of shape. And I'm just shocked. I don't know who it is. And I demand that they send me a picture because I don't believe it. I say, send me a picture. There's no way, she's coming home every day. There's no way a man is picking her up. And if it is, I need to know who it is.
Yeah.
And they send the picture.
Oh man.
Please don't tell me.
And it's me.
Oh man. Oh man. I felt that in my spirit. I was like, no. No.
Without my wig on.
Help us, Jesus. Oh man. He said your hair was fragile.
Wait, I was gonna say, oh, please don't tell me that was her. No. Wait. Okay.
You said your hair was fragile.
My hair was fragile.
Ooh.
Fragile. Light mustache.
oh,
out of
man.
shape.
And what was your response when you saw it? And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like, please don't say it was her. So you recorded that. You told the people that it was you.
I recorded it. And I had a preface on the screen. Have you seen my daughter?
Oh,
And so
that's good.
And so have you seen my daughter? And first it got removed. It got removed. The ladies were like, "Oh my God, this is so dangerous. This is so scary. We got trafficking. We got children that actually, this is just you shouldn't
people
do
sensitive
this, right?"
to
And so
it.
I was like, okay, maybe I went overboard, and maybe I know I'm endearingly inappropriate, but I kind of have a dark mind, and I love dark comedy, and so I appealed it though. I appealed it, and I won the appeal. I reposted the video, but I changed the preface.
Mm-hmm.
And God in that moment told me, no, change it back to what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Change it back to what it was. And I'm going to tell you something a little bit before this. God said, change it back to what it was. I changed it back. Went to bed. Woke up the next morning, my phone is like going crazy. I mean, crazy. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I was just like, notifications was coming. I was like, what is going on? One of my friends out of state called me and was like, there's a video. I'm going to send it to you. Is this you? And I'm like, oh. He's like, dude, you viral. I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I was about to say, did you know what it meant?
Because I'm home on disability.
Oh, wow.
And I looked like I was real healthy in that video. They're going to send me back to work. I don't want to go back to work.
Black folk be like,
we got to delete this video.
I got to come in there with a limp and a cane.
Right. Speech therapy, she talking real well.
What she need that
It's
for?
working.
What we paying? What we paying disability for?
I'm
so done.
Yeah.
But you didn't know. You didn't went viral. You don't know what viral
I went
mean.
viral.
And then
so,
from there.
So I was actually, because I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what virality was.
Mm-hmm.
I did not even know what that meant. I was like, okay, I got to keep my good government job. I don't know what's going on. And I remember my boss, who's a good friend of mine, was like, oh my God, you putting up numbers. Oh my God, you are so funny, but we always know. He calls me Deuce. That's my nickname because of quoting movies, quoting movies in the office place. But he was like, this is dope. this is dope. And the people started asking for more.
Mm.
And I was like, well, is this going to, like, I was worried about my job.
Yeah.
But God was doing something else.
Mm.
Because just a week before that, I posted on Facebook, God, make my name known to the world.
Wow.
Make my
I just got
so I can serve the people that you want me to serve.
That's so
Just
interesting that you say that, because it seems like she is literally telling us what we're going through right now. Like, okay, so no, like this
Come on, God.
this time last year, and we'll talk about more after the camera. The Lord had me leave my job
Really?
to do this. And so I'm about to tell you something. Oh my gosh, don't cry when you say this, girl.
Won't he do it? He said he would.
So I had and I don't even think I told you this, Desiree.
Mm-hmm.
I had a moment toward the end of the year, like end of December. And I was questioning myself. Like, okay, did I make the right move? Did I hear you right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I, am I being selfish? Am I serving like you want me to serve? Am I give you my yes? Like, because this journey is not easy, God. And I'm just trying to make sure my heart is in the right place, because the number's not numbering, the this is not doing this. And we work hard. Like this cute. This recording cute. This part is cute. But am I really, like, you got to show me something. And you hit me up in my DM. Now, we had already scheduled, but God had to remind me. And then he allowed me to, like, you were on my timeline, but you had started just being really, really heavy on my timeline. And so in my mind, I was like, well, you were already at a million followers, because I guess I was paying attention to the TikTok more than the Instagram, because I love TikTok. Yeah. I hope they don't.
Me too.
Please.
This is a calling to the people.
Call him, please,
and tell him what you want. Please don't ban him.
But no, I was looking at, and God just really highlighted you for me, and it was big for me because He used Miss Tab in the beginning of the year, and then used you at the end of the year. Says keep going, and I just listened to your story. I know it took you time, like in those moments where I'm having, like, what was your push, like what was your push through, because this is not easy at all. Like, well, this is easy, but like the consistency part of it, especially, I dealt with shame, I've dealt with doubt, I deal with it a lot. That's why I was like, I got to get out of my head. I have to get out of my head about earlier, because I was like, you see what? I don't deserve none of this. Like, the enemy will really, like, psych you out.
Yeah.
What do you do when you about to have them psych out moments?
I always say, my affirmation that I say every day is, God, show me how good it can get.
Ooh.
And I allow him to use me in everything I do. So every thought that I get comes from God. Every thought, every suggestion, everything I do, whether I reach out to people, it's all God. And I remove doubt, because He showed me when I put on Facebook, God, make my name visible in to the world. He did it in a week. He did it in 1 week. Oh, I can show you better. And I was so worried about, God knew that I was so worried about the money.
Yeah.
I was so worried about the money. I was like, and I have a good man at home. I have a wonderful man.
Shout out to the husband.
And that he had never asked me anything about my paycheck.
Mm.
And he was like, listen, you good. You don't have to work. But I like making my own. I like being somewhat independent in my own realm. And God knew that I was worried about that. But He was like, I gotta show her again. Buffalo Wild Wings in my inbox. They're like, hey, we want to offer you this for you to do this. And I'm like, man, this is more than I was making in a paycheck. You asked me to do something for 15 seconds? You want me to do a 15-second video for what I was making more there than I was making in 2 paychecks
With the government.
with the government.
And they say
Good
the government.
Good government.
They
job.
say the government pay well.
Good government job that I've been on a long time. And it just kept getting better. It kept increasing, and then I get the celebrity endorsements, where people reaching out like Snoop Dogg just posted you, Steve Harvey just posted you. God said, I can make your name visible. Just trust me. You want national, I'll give you global. See, all these you asking for little things. I got big things. What I got for you is you can't even see. You can't even see that far. And it was that right there. So anytime the enemy tries to lurk up, I elbow him.
How you do it?
I was about to say, how you...
Give me that look again.
Desiree, stop instigating her. Stop. Because she gonna go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I can't keep y'all in a room together.
Yeah, but
I love it.
He's just amazing, and it built a closer relationship with everyone in my household, including my son, because I believe my son was hit the hardest because he's the youngest.
Yeah.
He was hit the hardest with me having a stroke. And I know this because I remember one time I was sleeping in a bed, and I woke up and he was standing over me, and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he said he was trying to see if I was cold, and I was like, "Oh, you was trying to give me a blanket?" And he was like, "No, cold."
Whoa.
Cold.
What did that do to you?
It hurt. It made me sad. It made me face my mortality even more.
Yeah.
And it made me value life a lot more, and to create memories. Because at that time I was like, we don't know when our expiration date is.
Yeah.
And so while I'm laying comfortably in my bed, I need to start living life.
Yeah.
Truly living life. And everything that I do with my son is intentional, because I want him to have those memories and those moments that he can always look back on. All my children, I want them to be able to look back on. So that it's really important for me to leave that legacy behind, because, like I said, we all on a timeline.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, you bring your son up, and I'm so glad y'all be having too much fun. Okay,
we do.
The way you come in his room and just start kicking stuff. How did that dynamic come about as far as y'all doing a lot of y'all's reels together? Because I think those are my favorite ones, because it bridges a gap in the general
family together.
Exactly.
It's relatable. It's authentic.
It shows that all Black boys don't do the same thing.
Yeah.
But he's a respectable young man. Everything. So how is it for you guys? Do y'all come up with the skits before? Do y'all brainstorm together? How does that work? And is he trying to be an inspired, a comedian too?
So Addison is funny. He is. Well, my whole family is funny. Everybody is funny in my family. My husband, everybody. But it's we improvise. It's all improvisation. We don't. When I come in his room, a lot of times, he's just laying in the bed, and he may just be waking up.
You disturbing the peace.
Yeah, he already knows. So he sleeps. So so a lot of times, if you hear him, that means he's up. A lot of times, if you don't hear him, he's asleep. So we still got to get that camera time. But I just say, hey, this is the topic, and we just flow off of each other's energy. Our chemistry is tight.
It's solid.
It's tight.
Cause I really thought y'all like,
we don't
like, okay, let's do this, da da da. Like,
no, we don't rehearse. We don't rehearse any script. Now we are starting to work on. We did. I don't know if you see the video with me with the glasses on top of my head.
Yes, I just.
Okay, so we are working on a mockumentary type style series, and even though we still use a lot of improvisation, there's a little bit more that goes into it than when when we just come up with something off the cuff.
Off the cuff. I love it. I just love seeing. You can tell it's like not fake. Like you go back home and he really don't like you, but he just doing it just to like be in the camera. Like it seems like he genuinely likes to be around you. Genuinely, it seems like all your kids. You got your daughter here. Like it's just a beautiful thing because honest to God, I didn't have that relationship with my mom.
Yeah,
and that's something that I like when I see mothers able to do that. And I love my mom and dad. Like we have a great relationship now, but growing up, there was no connection. That's probably why I'm having a therapeutic moment right now. That's probably why I like those videos so much because you're there's a bond that's being created.
Heart posture. That's your heart posture.
Yeah, most definitely.
I see that in the comments all the time. Either, oh, you remind me of my mom. A lot of times people will say their moms have passed on, and it's like, oh, this just brings up some nostalgia with my mom, or others saying, oh, I wish I had a mom like you. I wish I had a relationship like that with my mom. Or like sometimes like people honestly think that Addison don't get in trouble, but Addison does. Addison still gets treated like he grown now.
Yeah.
But before that, he still gets treated like he's a child. Like, so he still get disciplined. He still getting, he still had curfew. Even though he still tests me like any other teenager would try to test their mom. But other than that, the dynamic is pretty good.
Excuse me.
I was like, what are you
the acid reflux. I saw that. I just saw that bottle that you put on TikTok about the acid reflux.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that out because that
time is good. It's good.
It's getting older.
My grandson said it's good for your stomach. And he said that on his own. He said that on his own.
And it's like you have the perfect, like we just need to put these cameras in your house.
Yeah.
Just go around and record you. Would you do what is it called? Them reality TV shows? Would you do a show like that?
I would not do. I've been approached about a reality show. And I remember my daughters, they were the ones saying, Mom, like you will not be able to control the narrative on that show. That is not even you. Like, and I was like, yeah, I don't want, because a lot of times people do reality shows and it tears them apart. You show people, they end up in divorce.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, if I were to do something like we're doing now, a mockumentary style, it would be, I would control the narrative.
Yeah.
I would control the narrative. I would be able to show what I want to show.
Yeah.
And not allow somebody to edit it and make it look like it's something else.
What you want to do. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Like, yeah, they be wilding out here. Yeah. So I know you just hit this big milestone on Instagram, and there's a lot of things that you want to do. So in the next 5 years, I want you to give us a description of where you see yourself.
Oh my God. Acting, writing, producing, my own show. We're probably on the 4 times 5. So we'd be on the 20th, 25th season.
Okay. Okay, big.
Yeah, 25th season, and just allowing God to use me I'm done snatching the pen while God is writing.
Yeah. And
I love what he's doing, and I love the chapters that he's creating, and I'm just turning the pages as they go. I used to overthink things and say, oh, well, I need to do this and I should do this. And then I think about it and I'm like, everything is going well. Everything is going well. And I'm at ease. There's no sense of urgency. There's no pressure. I control my own atmosphere. I don't want to put myself in a situation where it feels like it's work and that I'm running myself down, trying to meet all these these deadlines and goals.
Yeah.
I just say my affirmation. I say, God, show me how good it can get and allow me to serve my purpose with favor and grace. That's what it is. I tried it my way.
And like literally, like you said,
I'm just doing the work. He tells me, hey, and I do the work.
Because when we don't do it, we end up in a whole lot of. And then it was interesting in you. I think you said something recently where you was like, we give the devil too much credit.
Well, we give. It's a part of an anthology chapter I was in, a book I was in, an anthology I was in, and my chapter was called "I Gave So Much Credit to the Enemy, I Was Discrediting God."
Mm.
And a lot of times, because we already know the enemy can't do nothing without
His
God's permission,
yeah,
right? And so I remember this tumultuous time that I was going through at my job, and I just kept blaming the enemy. I just kept saying the enemy is doing this, and the enemy didn't want me to have this job, and I was saying all these different things, and at the end of it, it was just like big surprise. And I ended up getting relocated, getting everything that I had asked God for in the beginning, but God was like, no, I'm gonna give it to you, but I'm gonna give it to you my way, not your way.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to go through X, Y, Z. And at the end of it, I remember talking to my deciding official in this incident that happened at work, and I started crying. And he said, Miss Carter, why are you crying? I said, because I was giving so much credit to the enemy. I was discrediting God. All this time it's been God. Every situation that I've been in at this job was all God. And he was preparing me. And everything that I asked for in the beginning didn't compare to what he gave me. It didn't compare to what he gave me. Again, what you asking for is little stuff.
Yeah.
That's little stuff.
Yeah. It's like our minds are, the more and more I listen to people that really got money but also have a relationship with God, it's like I really think about how small my thoughts are.
Yeah.
Like what the word says is, for your ways are not my ways, and your thoughts are not my thoughts.
Right.
So God, bring me up to where you're thinking.
Right.
Like we have to really like be intentional about that, because I love your affirmation, because it just reminds me personally, and hopefully the viewers can relate to this. It reminds me personally that even the big thoughts I can think, God still outthinks those.
Yeah.
Like even the things that I think I can do well in or control, I don't say manipulate, but that's probably the best word I can think about right now. He can still do more.
Yeah.
Like he's still gonna do what he wants to do in my life, and when it's submitted to him.
Yeah.
And we say, God, I submit to you. God, I give you my yes. God, this and this. We're in a campaign right now. Yes, 365. We saying yes to God every day of the year, because we want to obey God and want to see God move. Like literally, we have to be submissive, and that's what I get from you. Like. Yeah. You really said, you know what, God, you ain't gotta fight me. No.
Right.
You can listen. You Mike Tyson me, I need.
I'm a soldier in the army. Lord, I don't think I got no more soldier in me.
Listen, it's a reel that I saw. He said, "Let me see if I'm on the Mighty Warrior list." Right. I was like, "Please take me off that list, please, sir, because
Take me off."
You out here tripping. No,
but then you think about it, because that was the thing at first. It was like, why me? Why me? And then I started saying, why not me? Why not me? He did pick the strongest. He did pick the strongest.
That's so good.
And he gives you more. Old church folks will say, God don't give you more than you can. God won't give you more than you can handle.
Yeah,
I don't believe that at all. I believe he gives you more than you can handle, because if he didn't give you more than you can handle, there would be no reason to call on him. There would be no reason to surrender.
Now that's big facts.
There would be no if I could do it on myself,
God.
I would be my God.
Mm-hmm.
If I could handle it on myself.
Yeah, you right about that. So
I tried it and it did work.
failed.
Oh my gosh. Listen, Desiree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we could go around the table. Like, what's that movie? Soul Food.
Mm-hmm.
And the plates be on her, and we can just do the plate shift, and she'll just be talking and giving us a whole bunch of wisdom. We'll be laughing, we'll be crying. Cause she almost got me caught up a few times.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts over there, sis?
I think it's a beautiful, I'm just, I love sitting here listening and just reflecting and all the things, but I think it's just your story is a beautiful picture of God's grace and his redemptive power, right? So kind of similar, I have a similar story where like, it's like God allowed you to think that you was in control of your life and do all the things like, Lord, I'm doing all these things. But until the moment came, I too found myself on a hospital bed near death. Right. Yeah. And so it was in that moment, I was like, and this is the crazy thing. It wasn't even a thought of, dang, I'm about to die. I could die right now. Like literally, I was like, literally had internal bleeding, like had to get like 8 units of blood, platelets, all these things. And it wasn't even like, dang, Lord, I could die. It was, I don't even think I've done anything. Like I didn't even touch scratch the surface of what I believe that you put me on this earth to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So in that moment, I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to give you my yes. And this was February 2021, right? So I was doing hair full time. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. So in my mind, that's what I did. Now, apparently, I'm producing podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. So it was almost kind of like he just used that moment to really help me to realign to what he really has, in us on this earth to do. And that's kind of like similar. It's like, hey, yeah, you got a good government job, but I got so much more. Like there's so many more people that I have that need what you have that I put on the inside of you. And so your yes just allowed you to begin to flow in his blessings and his graces. And I'm just like, Lord, this is beautiful. Yeah. So I'm just sitting back and I'm just listening, and I can see like parts of me and Jess's story in there. And I do believe like the listeners will be able to see themselves too, and then just understand that God can only, the truth of the matter is he can really only do as much as we allow him to do.
That's so good.
You know what I'm saying? So he's waiting on us to say yes. Mm-hmm. A full surrendered yes. A full surrendered yes. So I'm grateful for you coming on in this thing and blessing us today.
You just shook her. You just what was that? What was that? Oh, I'm asking. What was that?
And I used to do hair too.
Oh, come on.
We first cousins. We almost died, and we do hair.
Listen,
girl,
we can.
Y'all stay cut first cousins. I don't want to I don't know if I want that experience.
It's an experience, man. Listen.
I learned from y'all.
Listen,
I'm gonna learn. But what was that? That was your connection with her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say now, because folks she speaking tongue, y'all. Y'all know what I say about folks that speak in tongue. I'll yield the flow real quick. she says I will yield it. Listen, this has been refreshing.
So I like it. So good.
It's been refreshing. You feel like family. Like you just feel like family.
We are family.
You got come on.
Family. All my brothers, sisters, and me. Come on now.
Cousins too.
We are
cousins,
family.
first cousin, second, third removed.
You know how we be. But no, I really love your story, and I can't wait to just see what God exposes to you. Like, just continues to surprise, like use you as the evidence that he is love, that he is everything that he says that he is. So I know we talked about a lot of things, from women's health to bridging a generational gap to just, overcoming fear, getting your name right.
Bless.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go like in a few minutes. I'm still mad at myself about that, but
I ain't
it's
taking
okay.
it out either.
I know you not.
Okay.
The Lord did already dealt with me while we was having this conversation.
Good.
But within all of that, if they didn't hear anything, what is the one thing you want to leave with the viewers today?
I'm going to go back to what I said. Stop snatching the pen while God is writing. Trust the story that he's writing for you. Trust it. A lot of times we don't see the destination. So we don't want to drive the car, but understand that there'll be detours. It will get bumpy. And make sure on the way you don't never let the enemy in, because if you let the enemy in on the door, if you let him in on the passenger side, it won't be long before he's trying to drive. Okay? So I just say trust what God is doing in your life. There is a breakthrough at the end of that storm. I know it.
You are evidence.
Evidence.
Okay, that Naomi Rain song just came. Like,
Yeah.
You got evidence.
That's the word that Pastor
living
A gave us for this year is you are the evidence.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. Oh, I snatched that because you are totally the evidence. Dr. ShantaQuilette.
You said it right.
I said it right. Because I practiced it like 40 times before.
In your head, you was the same. You was just
you know
there,
that
you was sitting here while you was talking. That's how you was like.
No, I practiced before I got here. This the gag. You know, it was a picture where you had your shirt on and you had it breaks it down. What do you call it when the word is broken down?
Oh, the definition. Where
the definition, but it breaks your name down. How you
Phonetically,
sound it
it was
phonetically.
phonetically,
I wanted to say that word, but I didn't want to be ignorant in front of the doctor. I didn't
find a lack of locals. Two F's, 3 E's.
And I studied that shirt, honey. You was watching that shirt, and I promise you, I was like, okay.
And you did good. I've heard a lot worse. Like normally, I don't even correct people. I kind of sometimes just let them go with the flow.
Nye is my friend, and I'm not. I'm gonna call after and be like, "Girl, I messed up your mama."
And Nair is gonna Nair with a big old grin is gonna be like, "Girl, it's okay. My mama's so nice. She not even gonna be mad. Girl, don't worry. I know."
But no, I really believe that the Lord has allowed that to happen for multiple reasons. But another reason is even if those things happen, we got to move forward and be the evidence. We got to be the evidence. So you guys, we thank you so much for tuning in. Desiree,
hey,
you the GOAT.
Man,
I love you.
Love you, girl.
I love you so much. Y'all, I love you. Until next week, until next time, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask.